Che, which is a Mayan last name, and my married name is Petroshevsky, which is Polish. First of all, I would like to give honor who honor is due, and first is my Lord Jesus Christ, my Savior. Second, I would like to give my mother, Juana Canche Espinosa, honor also to my grandparents and my great-grandparents. My mother passed away a few years ago. Growing up, she was such a fantastic mother and gave us where we came from. If it wasn't for her, I would have never known where we originated from. They call us Mexicans, but really, no, we're Mayan Indians. My heritage originated from the Mayan Indian descent, my ancestors on my mother's side. My great-grandmother had a Mayan name. Her name is Placida Sastatka. On my grandfather's side, his mother, my grandmother, her name was Juana Gu, Q-U. Let me tell you where we originated from. The Mayan history, where did the Mayans come from? The Mayan are the indigenous people originating from the Yucatan Peninsula, which is near Cancun and the Merida. Right here. Right here. So, right here is what we originated from, the Mayan Indian. Started the Merida. My great-grandparents originated from there, and they did not speak Spanish. They spoke Mayan. Okay? My grandparents, all the Mayans traveled from Central America, which is Mexico now, but before the interventions of the Spaniard, it was Central America, but now it's Mexico. Okay? So they traveled from the Yucatan to Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, and they went to the South Central America. Well, my ancestors decided to go the other opposite direction, which is Mexico. Okay, that's what they call us Mexicans. But we are mixed, Mayan with Spaniard. Okay, my grandparents moved here. My mother was born in Tampico, Tamaulipas, Mexico. My mother was very, very young and decided to get married at a young age and had her first child at 16 years old. By the time before 30, she had 4 children. She had 3 males and 1 female. Okay, her husband died. He had cancer, throat cancer, he died. And she didn't know what to do because she was still very, very young. And she decided we got to do something here. We're so poor. She moved in with my grandparents, Maria Mendoza Canche, and Marcelino Mendoza Canche is my grandfather. So they were very, very poor. My mother tells us a story that they didn't have no food to eat. She had 4 children. They had to eat tortillas with salt in it because there was no food. The coffee was always grounded. It was all water. So my grandmother said, hey, down in Texas, you have an uncle that lives there, and he owns a bakery. Why don't you go across the border and get a job there? So my mother said, okay, and she had to leave her children with my grandmother because somebody had to take care of them. So my mother said, okay, so they got the coyotes, they would come over illegally, like they say. Well, she came illegally. My mother, Juana Espinosa, sacrificed her life. She crossed the Rio Grande, and she almost drowned. She said she was going in the water and she sunk. She didn't know how to swim, so the coyote picked her up and helped her come across the border. She made it to down in Texas in the bakery, and then years after that, I don't know how many years after that. By the way, my mother was born in 1919. So years after that, she met my father, Gil Espinosa. He's big something. I don't know too much about my dad because he was an orphan. All I know is he was Spaniard mixed with another type of Indian, but I don't know. Years later, when my mother worked in the bakery, my father walked in. A single man, tall, handsome, Indian-looking guy, fell in love with my mother, married her. Then he decided, well, I'm American born citizen. I'm going to help you get the papers so you can bring your children over across the border. So legally, he got her legalized. The 3 boys came because years after my sister was young also. Our family has our kids very young. They started 16 or 18, 19. So my sister stayed behind. She was a nurse, she got married, had a child. The 3 boys came. But not only that, she still suffered. They suffered from here to make a better living, but you still suffered when you came to America. Because even if you're born here, you still suffer. We had to travel and be immigrants. My dad was out in the fields. We worked in the cornfields, the cotton fields, you name it. I remember doing that. I was young. And my sister, when they got married, my sisters right here, they were born in Texas, right here. So we were immigrants. They traveled here. I was born in Oklahoma. We traveled to Minnesota. My brother was born in Minnesota, right? Because we were immigrants. My 3 elder brothers, they came to the United States. My father got them legalized, and one became an electrical engineer. My other brothers went to Vietnam. The other 2 brothers worked after he came from Vietnam, my other 2 brothers worked for GM. And my mother suffered a lot because she had 12 children, 8 from my father and 4. And my Mayan Indians are so little and short. So, speaking about the Mayan, here's a Mayan ruin. The Mayans are only like 4 feet. Maybe I'm even taller than my nieces. They're about this short. My mother's about this short. And the Mayans were so intelligent because my mother was so intelligent. Do you know that they were mathematicians? The Mayan Indians were mathematicians. Not even that they were intelligent. My mother was so intelligent that she even taught us everything about the Lord. She raised us in the Lord. She gave us the faith that we're born again now because of her. But she suffered so much. Anyway, but back to the Mayan ruins. Right here, you can see the pyramids. And then we have another picture right here where my sisters, they took my mother to Merida, Yucatan, because my mother always told us about her roots. And they took her when she was older. So here's my mother walking in the Yucatan. So here's the picture, and here's a Mayan Haruche Bandas. These are signs, right, Rosalba? And so then we have another one in color. Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. So this is my mother walking in her own land. And then this one is in color. I don't want to read this. This is the one from the Yucatan, the pyramid. See? Yes. And then here is the Mayan Indian. This is the culture. We went to Cancun, and then we took pictures. And right here, if you can see right here, is the pyramid. See the door right here? Turn it around. See the door right there? It's very, very little and short. Without my high heels, I can pass through like this. And Marty had to duck down because the Mayans are so tiny. They're so little. And then here is the Mayans. This is how they used to just celebrate. And to make a long story short, after that, my mother became American citizen at 70 years old. She passed the Constitution. My sister that's sitting over there, Rosalba, studied with her, and she passed. And she was so happy. She says, you know what? She said, you know what? I hate to renounce my country, but America's the best place, the promised land. Well, we call it the promised land, but it's a land of opportunity. And then, so my story is that my mother and sister started here. She traveled here, went to Illinois, and then she went back to visit her homeland. And I just want to praise God. Yeah, my sisters took her. They planned a trip for her. You know, and my mother was just in seventh heaven, and she was already older. But I just think my mother, she suffered a lot. We were so poor. She had to wash by hand. Of course, you know, everybody knows that. She made tortillas about the stick. She would make lunch. My mother never gave us cereal in the morning. She gave us pancakes. Even when I was in high school, she'd get up and make eggs and pancakes. And she said, you know, you can be She didn't have the greatest marriage. My dad was a good provider, but she went through a lot with him. My mother was always home. She never went out partying. She was always taking care of us. And also in the Hebrew, the name Mayan is short for Mayan, meaning spring or brook. In the Persian, the name means generous. And my mother was so generous because she took care of the grandkids, the great-grandkids. And my mother was just an awesome woman of God. And she's the one that always helped us to pray. And she led us to the right path to accept Jesus, Lord and Savior. She got born again. She got saved. As a matter of fact, years ago when we started going to Kings, she came with us. So you remember her. And Cancun, if you know, the name Cancun means snake. There was a lot of snakes in Cancun, and they got rid of them. I just want to say between 2600 BC and 1800 BC, the centuries rolled on, their culture and religion developed. As you can see, that's how it happened. They traveled. And I just want to show you the before and after. This is my mother when she came to the States. Oh, I'm sorry. This is my mother before